The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 378 of the Heart of LAFC podcast. For this one, we're going to call it Cautious Optimism, as we get ready for another campaign with a lot of new faces and a lot of familiar ones departed. Yeah, it's a bit of a change this year, that's for sure. But things do look promising with the preseason matches, and some things look good. So, yeah, it's going to be a busy year. So let's get into this thing. Yes, we have had a long break as well. But hey, crew is back. We've got Bam. We've got Tony. It's time to make this thing happen. Of course, we did have the preseason match that just completed a couple days ago. Again, getting another victory there for an undefeated preseason. Yeah, not so bad. But let's check in with the boys. Tony, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. Just was at the game last night, and it was a pretty fun night just to be back in the bank, getting ready for the season that's coming up. It was fun just to see the my childhood team against my team, and I ended up winning at the end of the day. Just for context, I've been a kid. My family's been Americanista since I was a little kid, fans of that. But at the end of the day, I win and lose with LAFC preseason or regular season finals, whatever. If it's LAFC against any of my teams that I've followed throughout my years, this is the team I've bled for, do work for, do everything for. So at the end of the day, Medica's always has a special place in my heart, but they're the enemies, and if they win, I lose.
There it is. Yeah, it's your home team. This is the home side. No doubt about it. We've been so invested in it. This is where we're at. We all have our clubs outside of it, but yeah, this is home. That's for sure. Bam. We haven't seen you in a while, sir. I see a countdown is on. Yeah, let's share what that one's all about, sir.
Yeah, it's getting closer. 36 days. So this time in 36 days, I'll be sitting on a plane, leaving Auckland in business class, laid out, about to fall asleep, and then wake up in sunny California.
There it is. Bam is coming home, everybody. Good to see him yet again. Of course, LAFC spoils the party by doing away games, but whatevs, man. Bam is still stateside. So, you know what that means. Y'all got to send your love to Bam, and maybe you'll see him in Southern California.
There'll be a lot of time at Disneyland, so, I'll be spending a lot of time there with my partner, so come see me. And if you do find me at Disneyland, I might have some treats for people.
There it is. There it is. Well, we can't wait to see you come back here again. And of course, in your happy place, outside of our stadium, we know your other happy place is, of course, the happiest place on earth. So there you are. Cool, man. Love it. Of course, everybody seems no worse for wear here. We've survived. We've made it to another season. The 8th season for the club and for the podcast. I swear, I think we're close to 10 here. So yeah, it's been a long time, guys, and we're ready for another one. Of course, like I said, some faces aren't back again. Looking at LAFC's roster, there has been a lot of changes. I think there's enough for me to not remember all of them, but here we go. We know Ilie's gone. We know Murillo's gone. We know Duenas is gone. Bella's gone. Yeah, pretty much most of our youth guys that got brought up in the system are all gone. It's a lot of bodies out, that's for sure. Of course, with some new faces too. Tony, you were at the game. You saw some of the new faces yesterday. I think we all did. Who stands out? Who gives you promise after seeing so many good players depart?
One, of course, again, it's always preseason, so you can't really see how it goes. And again, it's still a big side, and just see Ordaz was actually doing really well for filling for that position when Martinez came out. You can still see that he's in full flight, full everything, just to move on forward. The elephant in the room for me, and it's just like he's gonna have to grow on me, and it's like I only see him as Carson, is just Delgado. he was really good. There's some meshing that needs to be done, but he seems to be going in really well with the club. Again, he has to win over the fans and supporters because of his past of not just everything he said last time, and the last time you saw him in a different jersey, and then also where he's coming from. And the other thing that I do not like at the moment is there's going to be a lot of changes in the defense, and it looked kind of sketchy, especially with the new Jesus being back there. That was a fault for the goal.
Yeah, that was a little bit funky. Looking at how he played outside of the incident, yeah, definitely moments where he's too long on the ball. I did like the physicality, though. I ended up watching it on TV this time, or on Apple, right? I didn't go to the game, but kind of gave me a good chance to really examine from what I saw there. And what I did like is the physicality of his play. He isn't afraid to throw the body into it, not afraid to go back and forth with guys, where we've had a lot of seasons, most of our seasons, where we kind of get bullied. He seemed to be a guy willing to take on that battle. But yeah, that error was pretty wild. I know it's preseason, but I think he would learn from something like that, Delgado, I mean, he does what Delgado does, right? He's kind of just switch the jersey and still go out there and put in the work. I think the back line is a little more of a concern to me. I was really hoping to see some of the new faces that we've signed to feature back there. We didn't see much of that in this game. Some late substitutions, but the Segura question has to come up. That is for sure. Yeah, is he the guy we're going with? I'm not so certain. It was a little rough to watch, that's for sure. Bam, did you get a good chance to watch this one?
No, I didn't. Stuff went to complete hell at work, so I thought, oh, perfect. I'll finish work, jump in the car, listen to it, and drive home because it's kickoff right at the same time as I was finishing work. But unfortunately, everything that could go wrong did go wrong at work yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to watch any of it. I caught the last maybe 2 minutes of the game, but no, I didn't get to see any of it. I did see that we had a couple of new guys playing, but that's all I could say, really.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. You have to get used to the team that you have. You have to go to your strengths, who you're trusting in the lineup. Of course, give a few minutes to the new guys, but you felt that rather than experimenting, it was more of, first leg Colorado. Let's get ready for first leg Colorado, and that's kind of what the lineup looked like. So you didn't really get a good look at a lot of guys, except for what's left, right? The ones that are trusted, and that's what we saw in the lineup. And to me, I'm a little worried. I mean, Segura is the choice. He had a couple good stops on the play, but he kind of created his own fires that he had to put out on several occasions. And I'm not sure that's going to go so well against a guy like Mihailovic in a game that counts. This could be a little bit rough. The other question, of course, and Tony, you saw it, and I think we all saw it throughout this preseason, Giroud. What, he scores against the lower side, right? Did he do anything against MLS sides in preseason? Pretty much nothing, right? And in this game, did we see any differences? Did anything change, Tony, to you? I didn't see much.
I didn't see much. Again, it was more of he's off the ball player. He was there to dummy the ball for Ordaz to put it away. But from what I've seen and what it is, it seemed like once we got our new signee, Ibasia, he fit in better than Drew.
Yeah, the best thing Drew did was not touch the ball on the day, which is wild. I don't want to be mean, but, I mean, it was the right decision. I'll give him that. But outside of that, he looked like he was on an island yet again. And you can complain about service, but, it didn't take Kamara long to figure out how to work with the service situation. It didn't even take Ordaz long to figure out how to work with the service and what we do and adjust. And Ebobisse, in the few minutes that we did get to see him in this game, he seemed to be adjusting into the role without requiring the perfect pass to get any jobs done. So I gotta say, man, are we really putting all our eggs in that basket? Let's hope not. And I hope they're quick to adjust if he can't get it done, because otherwise it's going to be a weird season. And hoping for something big in the summer if he can't get it going. That's for sure. Bam, as you see, do you think? I mean, pretty much we're expecting them to go with ride or die with Giroud, right? Is that what we're looking at?
Pretty much that's what I would expect. I did see a little highlight of him not touching the ball that went through, so I was glad he had the awareness to do that. But he's got to switch on. He has to play. He has to score goals. He can't just rely on Giroud. He has to do stuff that will make him deserve the starting role.
Yeah, I mean, it's either you adjust or we have to just throw up the hands and go, "Well, this wasn't a good fit." That's a lot of money to say, "Well, this wasn't a good fit," right? And how long into the season is that going to come out? Again, the constant question. It still remains after this entire preseason and off season and prep beforehand, right? He's had that full. We all talked about, oh well, let's give him that chance to set up with the club and have a proper off season. Well, we had one. We're here now, right? Excuses over. Now it's time to perform. So there we go. Other new faces. I think the defensive additions that we brought in. Player from Columbus is now slipping from my grasp. Right, his name. Yeah, I'm liking who we're brought in. But again, we just need to see them play at this point and go from there. That being said, I'll throw it to you, Tony. I know we have the jersey that just came out. I know we all have strong opinions about that. Any other things in the community we need to know about? I know, dude, our organization has stepped up big time under the circumstances with the fires and all. As more is going on tonight, right? Yeah, we see that community side of it, but are there anything else you want to bring up for community this week?
Just to be careful because of the mudslides. We were everything was like after the fires again, me affected because I live, as everyone knows, the following career I was in Topanga, went for a while up there, and then of course living down there, still affecting it close by. It was just craziness, and just thank you for the firefighters that came out from all over the world, different states, just coming out to help out. It was just craziness. I myself was able to help out in a little organization that was to help the frontliners and then trying to get things back. But we all knew moving forward that once the rain started and we got a good rain, these mudslides would happen. So just be careful driving if you are in the Palisades area, Pasadena area. But thank you firefighters, thank you first responders, thank you everyone who helped out and volunteered when they had nothing to do, and as well as I give my heart and prayers to everybody who've lost homes and everything, because I've had stories where they've lost everything. It's something you don't think of, but kind of use as an experience to have a pack ready of like what you need, because when stuff happens you don't even know what to grab. But out of that community news, just the New Jersey, and yeah, nothing else. Oh, new shoes.
Yeah, new mystery shoes. I don't know where they're going to be sold outside of the HQ. They say Figueroa inside of them, so I don't know what that's all about. But I saw a few got a hold, so hey, good on you guys for making it happen. I think they're Forum lows, just kind of rehashed.
Yeah.
Which are very comfortable. And the first unofficial LAFC shoe was a Forum low, so it's interesting they're going back to that cut. Those who know about that infamous shoe. I kind of like it, but whatever. Yeah, back to the Forum low again. If you get a pair, good on you. I don't know if we're going to see those pop up online or just going to be something HQ exclusive, but yeah, happy hunting to all that want to hunt. Parking passes are out too. I see that as well. If you got to buy your season parking pass and put in a loan to make that happen, that's available as well. But otherwise, yeah, it's full speed ahead for the season and CONCACAF next week. That's the story. That's for sure. But Tony, you're safe, sir. All is well.
All is well. I'm back in my place. I had some spring cleaning early because I was like, you know what, time to get rid of some stuff. But overall, doing well. Again, if you need help, there are resources that are needed for just anything from Red Cross to FEMA. Of course, they may take a while, but there are resources. Just reach out. I can put some links up that I have that I can research just around my area and also Pasadena.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, for doing that. We're out here, guys. That's for sure. Reach out if you need anything, and definitely we'll pass things along to you. That's for sure. All right. So going forward into the Black and Gold Vinyl Club Minute, I don't have a lot of music to run with. I got to be honest with you guys. Yeah. Anybody got anything that stands out? I know a certain band is calling it a career this year. Maybe you want to throw something from one of those. I think Metallica's, like jumping in those concerts and all that stuff. But yeah, that's all I could think of is maybe something related to Ozzy Osbourne and those guys. But I don't have much this time. What do you got, Tony? Anything you're listening to special? You want to throw in for Black and Gold?
I was gonna say the same thing, Ozzy Osbourne, just because he's making his final concert with the concert for the ages for him with special guests at a Villa, as something that most people don't know, that he's a Villa fan.
Dude, it's proper, man. Your home football pitch to call it, that's pretty amazing. And those who come out for him, I mean, that is gonna be the concert of concerts. That's for sure. And I know some people are probably putting out loans to make that thing happen too. So, yeah. Is it getting streamed? Are we at least getting that, guys? Let's hope. Let's hope and pray for that one.
You'd hope that they would. Something like that where it's so big, where it's global, it has to get streamed. It would be very disappointing if it's not, but at the same time, I would understand whether they just record it and then release it later on. You
proper,
can go,
production value and all that stuff. Yeah. Any old way, I'm on board. Definitely want to see that one. That's for sure. So we'll give our shout out to Ozzy Osbourne and all the amazing music he's done for so many decades, right? We'll go from there. All right. So why are we here? Talk about football, right? That's the primary. So let's talk about the football. What is going on with Colorado and us? We've got a kickoff Champions League. Hey, man, we're back in the Champions League. That's some happiness, right? And facing off against Colorado, a little bit of a letdown. We're not going to Costa Rica this time around, but hey, maybe later on we'll be heading off to somewhere pretty and warm, and you know how that runs. But in the meantime, we got an MLS side to dispatch to get to the next round. So yeah, bring it on. Of course, Colorado has some funky history with us. We tend to beat them on most occasions, but man, when we go to their house, it's never a guarantee. That's for sure. It's a house of horrors at times for us. So yeah, heading to Colorado is not going to be easy. Now, in terms of their offseason and what they're building, I can tell you it's been pretty quiet outside of them selling off all kinds of financial considerations for players, bringing in youngsters from other programs, some international youth level players. Not any big names. That is for sure. Their core is their core from last year. It hasn't improved all that much, and it's all too familiar. I look at the roster that's listed. Yeah, I think the names that stand out. Cole Bassett, right? We know who that is. Kevin Cabral, still on roster. You got Reggie Cannon. I see we've got, looking down, Mihailovic to me is the big name. He's the one that always burns us. Beyond that, I think Ronan's another one. Rafael Navarro, he will be their striker, right? But otherwise, it's not Sam Vines, of course. Yapi, he's the newer player that's come in. They made a deal for him. But it's nothing crazy with this lineup. And of course, the goalkeeper, right? Stefan. So there are some decent players on this team, but they haven't made any big splashes. No big crazy changes. Moving some stuff off, but yeah, not a big change for them. Outlook probably be about the same as last year, trying to scrape in and get into the playoffs. That's the vibe. What are they going to do in Champions League? I think they're just happy to be there, guys. And of course, if they can nick us, then it's been a successful Champions League for them. I mean, that's really where it's at, is see how far you can get. That's what we're all doing. Or our expectations are we have to win this thing. Theirs is more of, hey, we're in the show, man. Do what we can and make some damage. Get as far as we can with a pretty decent roster. They're close, but not quite there in terms of the spending. So should be interesting. That is dangerous for us as we're, of course, adjusting and figuring ourselves out at this point after so many trades and changes and non-signings. And yeah, it becomes a bigger story for us. Changes for them last year, like I said, systems, I don't expect much, right? They're going to play their same system. There's going to be a big change from last time. We've talked about these guys. We've talked about them a lot. Bam, you're looking at Colorado. What are you thinking about these guys?
For me, I'm really interested to see how the new striker Navarro goes.
Mm-hmm.
They got him in from Palmeiras, so they did spend some money on him. So I'm really interested to see how he goes, whether or not that's who they'll start trying to base their squad around, trying to push the ball to him and much. Which, if you look at his last, his last few games, he hasn't really done much, but I reckon that they'll be looking more at him as go-to more than anything.
And he'll be getting the service. They have some decent options to get the ball into him. So if he kicks off, then we could be in trouble in this round. That's for sure. If it works, it works, right? We know they'll be well organized. Going up there is always hard for us, so there's no guarantees here. That's for certain. I know a lot of people like drop off, whatever. It's Colorado. Yeah, we can't have the attitude. It'll kill us. They're not going to be easy. That's for sure. And again, I think the identity crisis is more with us than them. They know what their core is. It's us. What are we going to do after, let's be honest, falling on our faces last year? And then letting a lot of guys go to try to re-energize the side, you could say. Change the look a bit. Get fresh. That's where we're at. So, in goal, you've got Lloris. There's no doubt about it. And the way he looked against Club America, he's ready. He's looking the part. I don't think there's any doubt he's looking the part. Center back pairing, yeah, that's the story, isn't it? What is it going to be? I think Long is the certainty, right? If he's healthy, he goes. Who goes next to him? Who should we expect? Tony, who are your center back pairings for this thing?
Oh, Long for sure. Why am I blanking right now?
Chanel?
Yeah, those are the only two I can really trust for, because it's again, like seeing Segura up there, I was just like, out of all the people, love the dude, does a lot for the community. He's like done well for us before, but again, he's not steady Eddie, I guess is the best way to say it.
No, it was a little rough, man, and we missed the old days before he got hurt. Because he was steady and there was something there. And yeah, I mean, he has great moments. Some tackles are amazing from him, but it's just a step off. It's a step off. Bam, I look to you, sir. I mean, what are you looking at for your back line? What are you expecting?
I'm expecting us to go back to the 3-4-3.
Yeah? Three center back situation?
Yeah, so it'll be Long, Chanot, and Eddie.
Dang. Like that. Interesting. Yep. I'm feeling more the 4-3-3. I got to be honest. I'm thinking that's where we're comfortable. That's always the default, right? Yeah. Well, I'm hoping we'll see Chanot if he's good to go, right? Hollingshead, Palencia, they have to be there. You need the experience. That's how it's got to be. The new kids on the block, they're still might see some substitutions, but hey, Hollingshead has looked the part already this preseason. He hasn't lost a step in this offseason. He's already scored, right? There goes that debate we always have. Is he going to have more goals than Giroud? It's quite possible. And that's not even knock on Giroud. It's just Hollingshead, right? He produces, and he's already looking the part. So same with Valencia. I mean, honestly, or Palencia. I like the edge he had against Club America. I got to say, I like the scrappy stuff. What do you think, Tony? Outside backs are kind of predictable, right?
Outside backs are kind of predictable, but it was fun to see them push them and have some more, I guess, bark and bite to them. So it was fun.
The scrappy do moments, right? We kind of need that, especially in a tournament setting that we're getting ourselves into. I like Ordaz getting into it with those guys. I dig that. I like the edge. You got to be the bad boys at some point. Take it, own it. We have a new player capable of that. Let's get into that, man. Make it happen. Now, the midfield situation, if it's the three, man, who's that going to be? Right? I think we know, but yeah. Tony, who are your three midfielders this time around?
It's going to be probably Tillman, Delgado, and
the new guy, Jesus.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to give him the start, but I think that's our best option, even though he's iffy on the defensive end. So.
I think we paid for him to be there.
Yeah.
I think the money's dropped. That's who they want to see there. Yeah. I mean, Delgado looked the part. I'm not worried about Delgado. I'm not worried about Tillman. He seemed fine. It's Igor Jesus. Like, we can see there's something there. Honestly, he's just very young. I'm sure he won't make that mistake again, guys. We better not. Keep it simple next time. But I like how scrappy he can be in a game like this. That might be a good thing. Who's our options outside of him, though? Yeah, it kind of thins, right? You look around and yeah, I mean, that is their strongest option. I look on the bench and that's our guys. At least that's the feel I get. Bam, you were saying you wanted a 3-4-3. Well, who's your 4B then in the midfield? I mean, we know who the outsides are, right? But who are the two in the middle?
Yeah. Two in the middle, I'm going to go, obviously, Igor and Tillman as the two in the middle.
No Delgado?
I don't want number 8 playing.
I know. I'm with you. But I don't think the club is. I think they're all happy about this one. So
yeah, club can be happy with a number 8, but to me, number 8, he start him on the bench, bring him on. If we do need a third in there, if say Eagles not doing that great, I'm pretty sure we still got Yeboah that can come in as a midfielder.
Yeah, definitely. He's happy to be here. That's for sure. All right, so there you go with your midfield situation. Up top, last game we saw Martinez, Giroud, Bouanga. Yeah, is that going to change? I don't think so. I think we really did see a good preview for the next match. Bam, are you thinking it's those three as well?
No, it's obviously Bouanga. He starts regardless what happens. He starts.
Yep.
Giroud's going to start, and Ordaz.
Because he got the goal.
Yep, they'll reward him.
Which would be unfortunate because I gotta say, like watching Martinez in this last game and the confidence that he was throwing out there, he kind of led a lot in our offense in that first half. He was important, that's for sure. So is Ordaz. I mean, Ordaz does Ordaz things. He presses, he pushes, he picks on people, he communicates very well with his side. He's going to the right places and he reads the game very well. But guess what? Martinez does too. They both kind of have, the similar awareness, kind of, but the technical stuff with Martinez is just a bit better. Tony, your thoughts?
I agree with Bam, but I think Martinez starts over Ordaz. Unfortunately, he's again the technical part of it being able to move around defenders is the I guess the trump card, the ace in the hole that he uses to get the start most of the time. But again, Ordaz is still a solid sub or a solid start that we can have it, because especially with the new stupid, I don't know, it's like a weird rule that I don't like, that you have that MLS teams, if you guys haven't heard or seen it, we'll get into it, but if you guys want, but we only play 2 cups a season, so we can't even go and win a trifecta or quads or 5 anymore.
Yeah, our LAFC 2 has to do it,
Mhm.
which of course locks you onto that roster, right? If you're on the LAFC 2, at least for Open Cup purposes, right?
To me, the biggest thing is it feels like you get disadvantage for winning the Open Cup because you can't go in and defend it.
Yeah, I feel like you're getting punished for succeeding again in this league. Right?
Yeah,
It seems like every time you do well, they do something that kind of knocks you down.
Yeah. What's the point of winning one of the most prestigious trophies in American football? What's the point?
Just to not.
Because you can't defend it. You cannot defend it, which I'm sorry, but that's look, if you want to say yes, you do well in that, so you finish second, third, all that kind of stuff, then yeah, you got to go. He can't play anymore. But if you win it, you should be able to defend it. Plain and simple.
You would hope, but it seems like MLS has decided that Leagues Cup is March Madness and the Open Cup is the NIT tournament. that is where they've tiered it. A little bit better than what they said last year when they tried to kill it, right? But yeah, this is where they're at. I think they're the only saving grace is if the Leagues Cup becomes an absolute bomb this next run out, and then the Open Cup gets its love again. But ain't no promises on that. Which of course we're playing 3 random games against Liga MX sides, and other teams are doing the same thing. And well, I guess how the standings play is what's going to bring you to the next. So no direct knockout way or normal standing way. Just luck of the draw on the 3 that you get. Hope you get your results. Yeah, bizarro, but here we go. Open Cup much easier. Win, move on, call it. So there it is. Yeah, so that is where we're at. That's what we're looking at for the roster. What do I expect from the guys when they head up to Colorado? Well, honestly, again, the scrappy side is going to be needed. It is going to be hard to keep up there. We always run into issues thanks to that lovely altitude. They just need to be smart, right? I think that don't give them anything that you don't need to give them. Take the chances you can and simplify your game. I think your best options at this stage. It will not be easy up there. Weather probably won't be our friend either up that way. So get ready for a funky one. I know there's a lot traveling up there as well. I've heard of plenty of people going up that way. So there will be some 3252 support present, even in the middle of the week. You guys are always amazing. But yeah, first round is here. It's on. Tony, do you have any concerns for this match? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. Like I just came back from Colorado this the beginning of February, which was kind of funny because I wanted to go to the game and I went for my nephew's birthday. So, but being up there, it was really cold. It was really nice. Again, that was during the snowstorm, so it's probably cooled off. But it's preparation for the final game of the season where we were going to probably be back in Colorado. So let's just see what we can do. And all we have to do is just, go out there and play our best that we can do. We'll see what happens mid-season, what changes, or maybe there's a player that we don't know that's coming in. Who knows? But just if we play like we played against America, I think we can come out easily with a W. Not an easy W, but a win.
Yeah, the movement was good off the ball. The reads were good. Again, a scrap play cost us eventually, but otherwise, America they weren't knocking on the door much in that game. We looked pretty good, except for things we created for ourselves. So again, guys play that way, as mistake-free as you possibly can be. Yeah, we'll be fine after the first round. We should be in a good place. We don't predict things here, but Bam, how do you think the game will shake out play-wise, not score-wise, of course?
Play-wise, I think it's going to be shaky from both sides. It's going to be one of those games where we're still getting used to certain players. They're still getting used to certain players. And I think that no matter how each team plays, it's going to be that nervy, shaky. Players don't want to get injured first game of the season, whether it's MLS, whether it's Champions Cup, whatever. They don't want to get injured so early in the season. So there'll be a lot of I don't want to say hesitation, but that whole do I go in or do I not go in type thing. I can just see it being that nervy 1-0 either way type of game.
I mean, even without possibility of a draw, because it will be so tight.
Yeah,
it's real. Yeah,
but I reckon it's going to be that nervy. It's getting tight. 90th minute, bouncing around in the 18-yard box type thing.
Yeah, and of course, my other concern, I'll throw this out. If it is Igor Jesus and it is Delgado in that midfield situation with Tillman, they don't have a lot of games under their belt together. And the Colorado midfield is pretty seasoned, right? They know what to expect from each other. And again, I worry about Mihailovic every time I do. We better not get bossed. They're going to have to adjust rather quickly up there. With two new faces in that midfield, it's going to have to be a quick adjustment. Definite. All right, Tony, any final thoughts on this preview? I know there's some comments out there, so I'm definitely going to go to that in a few seconds here. You just want to add into the mix?
No comments for myself. Just going to the mix for the people who graciously joined us for the night for the first episode of the season.
In nearly 2.5 months? Yeah, we've been gone a while, guys. We've had a very long vacation, longest one we've ever had. But much needed for all parties, let's be honest. So we are back. It's on. We came when it counted, right? So let's see where we're at here. We've got It's Jibble, familiar face. Welcome, sir. Says, yo. Dave Gomez. Yes. He says, La Familia LAFC. Happy for you, Bam. There you go. This is awesome, Bam. He will be at the home opener. Dang. Coming back. There it is. He says backline complete roster needs time to heal in jail. And I like the word heal because I think we're all kind of healing after some of the departures. They're kind of gutted. I was gutted, especially with Ilie, man. That one hurt. And Murillo. By the way, he looked good for Juarez. I'm going to say that right now. He even scored a goal for them already. He looked legit. And Dave says, what about Holm? I know he's hurt, but when healthy. Yeah, Holm is an enigma. I'll throw that out there right now. And we went to Celtic. It was one of these situations where, man, we've got this new young Norwegian player that's got all this promise for their national team. And he was really highly lauded at Celtic. Something's going to happen. And then it didn't happen for him, right? And so now he's with us trying to kind of reset, I would say, figure out things for himself. He has a ton of talent. I will tell you guys that. The movement is good with him. The touch is good with him. There's a lot there. He has all the tools. But the game's up here, right? It's where are you at? Where's the motivation side of it? He will be motivated. I don't doubt that. But where are you mentally? Where are you in accepting that the fact that you're now in MLS, right? And you're battling for what you need to do in MLS. Where does that play in? And so, is it going to be a Tillman type of situation where he was getting work over in Germany, but it wasn't what he needed, right? And this is what he needed, and he came back here and he thrived. Well, Holm gets that chance here, so we'll see what he does. I know it's one of those cases where I don't think he wants to go back to Norway, right? He's on his odyssey here, and so this is a good chance for him to really feature, make a name for himself at this club, and get a chance to even take a controlling, method, I guess you could say, or just a way to really impact this side and take a dominant role if he can really take off here. So there's potential. There's huge potential with Holm, but it has to come to fruition. And I think that would be the best way to look at it with him, is he's a project player, but with a huge upside, a crazy huge upside. Bam, your thoughts?
Look, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does. He's hurt at the moment, but I know with how our staff look after hurt players and get them back when they're ready to get back. I'm looking forward to seeing what he actually does.
Yeah, and speaking of hurt players, Del Valle is back in the lineup. You say that he's now available again. What's his story going to be this year? Is it mostly the LAFC 2 story, or is we're going to see him as well? Because this is another guy that plays center back, developing. What do we get there? So there's another face that's going to get a good chance this year. Tony, your thoughts on the home deal? Any other players that you're really looking forward to this year to see what story they're going to bring?
Home is just again, from what I saw, he seems good. It just injury at the moment. Well, hopefully he gets well and we can see what he actually is capable of. I am, like I said, the story for myself again is Delgado. Is what is he going to bring to this team? What is he going to bring to us as supporters and fans? And I want to see Ordaz's development for this season, especially because he'll be probably getting more time during, I'll say, the first half of the season before the window opens.
And I like that. I mean, this year is the test for him, right? We've seen what he's done at LAFC 2. We've seen the impact. We've seen goals here on the top side. But you have to figure that maybe he's in that Dueñas situation. Serviceable. Are you taking that next step? And now he's got early stage competition with another young player in Martinez, where they're in direct competition now, right? And there's an opening, you could say, right? What's going to happen there? It's a make or break for him. I do think this is the year, right? He's got to really break out and show that he could be a day in, day out type of player. I have confidence in him, right? I've seen the work he puts in. The dude is beyond dedicated. But yeah, it was a good start against Club America, that's for sure. But we got to see more, right? We want to see more. We're pulling for the kid. That's for sure. That's for sure. Any other thoughts from you, Bam, before we move on today?
No, we'll see what happens with them all. See what number 8 does for us, and go from there.
There we go. And yeah, number 8. Again, nothing is sacred anymore. I know. I get it. Don't love it. Won't love it. I'll say this. I'll hold, right? And he's gonna have to score against the Galaxy for me to even give any sort of love. So I'll just put against that. You got to take one on against your old team. Not requiring your celebration. I would understand that. You're a human. But you got to throw a dagger into those guys for me to give you any sort of love.
No, sorry. I for me to give him some love, score against him, and the Adebayo celebration.
There's no way he's going to do that. You know that. No way he's going to do that. But again, put the work in. Defeat those dudes. Then we'll talk. I'll take it at that. All right. On that note, again, us old crusty dudes are telling you how it is. You know what it means, guys. We're closing this bad boy out. Another season begins for all of us. Episode 378. I know. Time flies while you're having fun. So, what do we do? What do we always do? Yep, that's right. We transition this bad boy to close it out with our final thoughts of the day. I will go with Tony first. The mood lighting is off, but hey, man. Final thoughts as we kick off another season?
Final thoughts is just get enough rest. Remember to, take your time, live your life as best as you can. There are going to be good days and bad days. Just remember the bad days make the good days the best that are possible. And, just because I'm going to say this, as much as I run socials and everything, social media sometimes is okay to step away from at times and live your life and live in the moment, live in the presence of the people who are around you, because, you can go back and be like, oh, these were the good times. And I didn't realize that these were the good times until it's over. So Shall transition perfectly to Bam. Is what, Bam?
It's okay to not be okay, everyone. That's the main thing. With everything that's been going on in LA and all that kind of stuff, people are hurting. People are not how they normally are. If you do need help and you are in the Los Angeles County area, the helpline is 800-854-7771 or 988. If you are in need, call those numbers, reach out. I've had some people reach out to me over the last couple of months, and we've sat back, we've chatted, all that kind of stuff. You know, just because time differences and all that, like at the moment, it's 5:45 p.m. my time, man. It might be getting late for you guys there, but you know, the great side of me being on the other side of the world is if these boys are asleep, I'm awake. You know, just hit me up and we can chat. You know, got all that. Mental health is huge. I went on it last year. I banged on about it. I'm going to bang on about it again this year because you do get sad. You do get anxious. You do get feelings you don't know how to deal with. And talking about them can help and will help.
It's critically important. Thank you, Bam. And again, you all of you guys are important, right? You're part of our community. You're part of our family. We want to hear from you. If you need help, let us know. Open ears all the way. That's for certain. Thank you, Bam. Anything else you want to add before I close this bad boy out?
No. Let's just start this up how it should start up.
Right? As it's done. So on that note, my final thoughts are welcome back for another year, guys. The adventure continues. No matter what the roster looks like, what the prognosis is on the season, it's day one, right? This is the time to have the most hope for the year. Begin the journey. We know the rosters never remain the same throughout an entire year, so you don't know who's coming in. You don't know who's going out. But what you do know is that you support a club that wants things desperately, okay? And didn't end the season the way they wanted it to, so you can guarantee we aren't done. That's for sure. We're going to bounce back hard. We took a good lump last year, but we're back in this mix. Let's make this happen. All right. On that note, the final word, Tony.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
Bam.
Stay golden, everyone.
And from me to all of you, stay golden, Los Angeles.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.